fire up Mason Rudolph if you're absolutely desperate. Shouldn't be that
Don't
desperate.
fire up Mason Rudolph,
Don't
even if
fire
you're
him up.
desperate.
Don't
Throw
fire
him for
him.
300.
Yeah, don't fire. Bengals at Browns. Cover your mouth. They won't just steal your order.
He has been quarterback 11 or higher 3 of the last 4 weeks. And everybody hates on this guy. It is Danny Dimes.
I'm hanging up right now. I can't believe
Come on.
it. I'm hanging up.
No. What's up, fellas?
How we doing?
We're here.
What up? What,
What
up?
up? What up? Oh, we did the same thing.
That's all right.
Good.
It's not weird.
Should I join in? What up? What up? What up?
No, what up? What up? What up?
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on in to WPF, the When Pigs Can Fly Fantasy Football Show. We are your hosts of the show. I am Sal Adams. That's Corey Lamberts. And he is the Wesley Bryant. How you doing tonight, fellas?
I am doing very well.
I'm sleepy.
First day
Real
on the
tired.
new job, officially a Michigander again.
Yep.
No longer
Yep.
Southern folk.
I know. Thank God.
Do you feel alive, like electric
I
inside and
do.
stuff?
I do, man. It's exciting. It's exciting. We're finally back. For good now. And I'm actually coming to you live from my bunk room at work. So
Heck yeah. I might be more excited than you. I don't know if you caught that, but I did jazz hands when I asked.
I did not see that. Did not see that.
That's all right. That's all right. How's
Yeah.
things over on the east side of the state, sir? That's you, Wes.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you.
Great. Starting to cool off again outside. We had a beautiful last few days.
Thank you, Lord, for the trees. They look beautiful.
Yes, no kidding.
But like I said, I'm sleepy. I played basketball late last night, and
Okay.
yeah,
Getting active.
got some hoops in.
Yes, sir.
New all-time low, personal. Lost 26 pounds in the last year now. Doing good.
All right. Good job.
Let's
Way
go.
to go.
We like to hear. Well, hey man, I know you're tired. I think we're all getting a little bit sleepy. We got some stuff to do. We were up early, so let's get right to it. Tonight we have got a jam-packed show. It's gonna be a lot of fun, informative, fun, and all the good stuff in between. So with that, we have who's hot and who's not. That is who's catching fire and who's sending you to the waiver wire. We have positional power rankings. We have studs. We have duds. We have Thursday night football thoughts and picks and locks for Thursday night football. And then, of course, we have our home league matchups. Man, that's a lot to run through. So let's just get right into it. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because the WPF show is about to take flight.
Let's roll.
Let's roll, baby.
Let's get it going.
Kicking it off with hot and cold. Who's catching fire and who is sending you to the waiver wire? Either you gentlemen want to kick this off, or do you want me to?
You know, I'll go just because this was tough for me.
Okay.
There's so many reasons to have to go to the waiver wire, whether it's injuries. Injuries has been crazy. Coaching decisions. Mine goes on coaching decisions. And Mr. Mike Tomlin rolling the dice. Russell Wilson.
Wow.
Russell Wilson just came out and had a game. He said, "This is how you put touch on the ball, Justin Fields. This is how you drop it in the pocket. Drop it in the basket." And he lit it up. He was what? QB 4? 3?
Three
3.
on the week.
QB 3.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
Russell Wilson, if he's still on your waiver wire, scoop him up.
You are absolutely right about that. You know, I know it was me that said I didn't see why they would do this. They were 4-2 with
Yep.
Justin Fields.
4-2,
It just
yeah.
didn't make
Mhm.
sense. Russell Wilson game 1 back kind of showed why it made sense. So that's a great pick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a great pick. I would love to jump in next. I have got several that I've got here, but I think we're just going to do a couple tonight. A trending hot that I have is a quarterback that I have kind of ragged on a little bit throughout the season. He's actually been a top 16 quarterback for 4 consecutive weeks now, scoring at least 17 points every single game. even in games that weren't favorable. He scored 17 plus at Chicago. I think he scored 21. He played against the Pats this week and he scored 17 or 18 points. It is Trevor Lawrence. He is trending hot.
Okay.
This is a quarterback that you're going to have in a super flex league, obviously, especially if it's Dynasty. But if it's a redraft, you might not have him, especially if it's not a super flex. It's worth monitoring, man. He is trending hot right now. It's a surprise to me, but
Okay.
it's there.
Yeah.
Well, there is some reason why they figured they'd pay him that much money. Now he's actually showing it finally. It's about time. I actually have a couple. One of them's a quarterback, but it's too easy only because the guy that's the starter there is week to week, so we don't really know. But I'm actually going to shift to a wide receiver who now does not have to be the X receiver as a rookie. That's Keon Coleman. He's got Amari Cooper to take some heat off of him in all the number one corners, so
That's
he is definitely huge. It's huge. Plus
So
the
many
veteran
ways,
presence.
Veteran
So
presence.
many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needed that for sure.
Ridiculous. Oh, for sure. So yeah, Keon Coleman I definitely have as my trending hot. He's yeah, and he's fun to interview if you've seen any of the clips of him being press conferences. He's
Or
he's a
his
goofball, man. He's
commercial
fun.
outtakes. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I haven't.
Oh, look it up.
Wes, I think you said you don't have a trending.
Nothing
Okay,
cool.
yeah, you've got the one. So I'm gonna do a quick trending hot because I've got one more, and then I want to switch over to trending not because I've got one of those too. But this guy had a fantastic week this week. He's only got 38% ownership in redraft leagues right now, and that is actually up 15% from what it was on Tuesday. 3 straight weeks with 4+ targets. 2 of those weeks being weeks that he scored a touchdown. He's scored 11 plus in all 3 of those weeks. Pay attention to this guy moving forward. It's Rashad Bateman.
Oh yeah,
Huge.
Rashad Bateman is trending hot.
Yeah,
He is trending hot right now. And with that low of an ownership percentage, man, that means 62% of leagues he's available. Stash him in the very least. Zay Flowers seems to be really inconsistent. He's super high and then he's super low. Pay attention to what they're doing with Rashad Bateman.
I don't have room to stash him in our league.
I'm pretty sure he's owned in our league.
He is definitely owned, for sure.
So let's move over to the trending not. Do you want me to throw mine out, Corey, or you want to rip yours off?
I'll do mine. Mine is also wide receiver. It's actually multiple. It's the entire Bucs starting receiver room, with Godwin being injured on IR,
All died.
and then as well Mike Evans nursing a hamstring injury. So
I don't know what they're gonna do. McMillan?
They got Sterling Shepard, Jalen McMillan.
Yep. I think it's gonna be McMillan, but somebody's got to step up.
Well, those are guys would be trending hot, but definitely the trending, the downward direction is their 2 big starters, Godwin and Evans. So
Simply can't play him.
I think inevitably that Kate Otten is the only thing that you know for sure is going to be a consistent in that offense because it's certainly not going to be anybody in the backfield.
Nope.
My other trending hot, Kate Otten.
There you go.
Quick, that was good. I like it.
My trending not for this week is a guy that I've been super high on. It's just unfortunate the circumstances that he's run into. He might survive through it. He was red hot for about 4 consecutive weeks. This week was the first week he's played with a new wide receiver on his team, and he only got 4 targets this week. He caught all 4 of them. He got 58 yards. He was productive. But he is trending not for me since he will now be the wide receiver 3 on this roster that has a running back that also they like to throw the ball to. It's Allen Lazard. He's trending not. He's going to be sending you to the waiver wire, unfortunately. He was a guy that was starting to look like he could be consistently producing for you. With Devontae Adams being there now, there's just too many guys that need the ball. I mean, they've got Mike Williams still. Don't forget about him. That's a lot of mouths.
I still think Mike Williams is getting traded.
Well, I mean, it would make sense.
I don't know if I would completely sell out on Allen Lazard yet. Might want to hold on to him.
Stashed.
Yeah, keep him stashed because they're, like I said, or like you're saying, like, yeah, Devontae Adams. We'll talk about his stats later.
Hey,
well,
man,
you know,
he lost to the Steelers twice.
That we thought that this might help Garrett Wilson, and Garrett Wilson he looked good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He looked good this weekend. So
Sure did. Sure
you
did.
can say he's trending hot, but by golly, you drafted him to be one of your best receivers
Yeah.
anyways.
Mm.
That is trending hot and trending not for the week. So there it is for you.
Real
Yes,
quick
sir.
before we move on to the next segment, speaking of wide receivers and new rosters, trade happened today.
Oh
Real
yeah.
world. DeAndre
Yeah.
Hopkins, Kansas City Chief.
Speaking of trending hot,
They
Maybe.
I don't know if you heard
For
this,
sure.
but they wanted Chiefs tried going for Cooper, but Rams wanted too much draft capital.
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Cooper Cup. Sorry.
Oh, I was thinking Amari Cooper.
Sorry,
Okay,
Cooper Cup. They're trying to go for Cooper Cup,
Oh.
and they wanted too much, and they were not giving up their draft capital.
Well,
So
I'm so grateful that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Though. At least DeAndre
Oh,
Hopkins
yeah,
is
dude.
32, and Cooper
A
Kupp.
shell of his former self.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got some left in the tank though. So
Yeah.
that's hot. That's hot and cold. Trending hot and trending not, if you will, for the week. So let's move on into positional power rankings. We
Okay.
didn't decide who was going to go where with this. Wes, do you want quarterbacks? I know Corey doesn't. If not, I'll take.
I'll definitely take quarterbacks.
You're all over the quarterbacks in our league, so you might just.
Yeah, let me get this. Quarterbacks, positional power ranks. At number 5, Josh Allen, still up there, 23.3 points per game. Four top 10 weeks, 2 QB1 finishes. Am I reading that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's
4
correct.
weeks
Yep.
in
All
top
right.
10 this
All
year,
right.
and quarterback 1 finishes.
A little extra deets we got this week. Number
Yes,
4,
sir.
Joe Burrow, 23.4, just a touch better points per game. 4 top 10 weeks as well. Number 3, Jordan Love, 26.6 points per game, 2 top 10 weeks, but obviously a little bit higher. At number 2, he fell out of the number 1 position. Baker Mayfield, 28.3 points per game, 6 top 10 weeks.
A lot, dude. We've only had 7 weeks.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Guy is ridiculous down there.
And because of his enormous last game, he just put up 44.44 fantasy points for me.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson at a
Ridiculous.
29.7 points per game, 6 top 10 weeks, 1 QB1 finish. Man.
Yep.
Ooh,
5 tutties
boy.
will do that for you. 5
Goodness
tutties will do
gracious,
that for
dude.
you.
What a ridiculous.
That's nasty.
Let me.
Yeah, is there a reason why we let Wes get Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson? Can we
I don't wanna
like
talk about it.
veto that now?
I don't want to talk about
Too
it.
late.
Anyway, move on. That's fine.
So I'm gonna run into running backs.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
I didn't mean to do that either. I'm going to go ahead and run on into running backs. So I didn't preface this before. I actually, yes, when I was running through the positional power rankings, I decided
Just keep running.
7 weeks in, we might just as well see how many top 10 weeks these guys are at. Are they consistently bringing you the numbers that you're looking for? Are they finishing at the upper echelon? What's the deal here? I think you're going to be surprised actually with how many RB1 finishes number 1 has. So going into number 5, it's Kyron Williams, 19.4 fantasy points per game. He's got 2 top 10 weeks on the season. He's having a really good season so far. Number 4, Alvin Kamara, 3 top 10 weeks. He's got an RB1 finish on the season. He's doing well this last week. Not so well, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Unless Kendre's cutting into his time. But
He's
did you
been playing
see
with a broken hand.
He's been playing with a broken hand, and they signed him to a 2-year extension.
Yep.
The guy's
24
29.
million, I think. 24 million, right?
It wasn't a cheap. It was not a cheap
Couldn't
deal.
believe
And
it.
he's old for a running back, so good for him, right?
Proof that the salary cap is a fake thing.
Yeah.
Coming in at running back 3, we've got Saquon Barkley, 22 points per game, flat, 4 top 10 weeks, 2 RB1 finishes. He has 2 RB1 finishes on the season. Good for him. Coming in at number 2, your
Man.
boy Corey's number 1 running back, Kenneth Walker, 22.3 points per game. Guy's got 3 top 10 weeks. One of those weeks came in against the Detroit Lions, which is impressive.
Yes,
About
very.
the only player I have that's scoring consistently.
Well, at least you've got one. And number 1,
Thanks.
22.9 points per game, 5 top 10 weeks, but only 1 running back, 1 finish on the season, which is crazy because he's been chucking up points left and right. It is Derrick Henry.
Solid dude.
Derrick
Did
Henry.
you guys? That's two Ravens at the number one in their position at quarterback and
Yeah.
running back, respectively.
That's right.
Did you see that they had 4 straight offensive players of the week?
I did see that.
Henry,
Alternated.
Lamar, Henry,
Yep.
Lamar. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Stop
They're doing
there.
something right over there.
God, it's running the ball for at least.
Yep.
Or you want wide receivers, or you want
Yeah,
tight end?
yeah. I'll take wide receivers. It's my favorite position to scout anyway, and it's my favorite position to watch on the football field.
It seems like I remember you saying that about tight ends. Are you maybe two-time in those positions?
They
Maybe.
both catch the ball.
They both catch the ball.
One in the same. One in the same.
So coming in at number 5, we got T. Higgins, 16.2 points per game, 2 top 10 weeks, which is impressive because he's only played 5, right? 5 weeks, I think. He missed the first 2 games.
Can I make a quick note?
No.
Interesting stat about this wide receiver positional power rankings. I believe it's all top 4, and it might be top 5 players for points per game this year are currently injured.
Yep.
Or not able to be on our list. Our requirements are 60% of their games and or currently healthy. You're looking at Nico Collins. You're looking at Cooper Kupp. You know, there's a couple of guys that you're looking at that are
Chris Godwin.
Chris
just
Godwin.
fell apart.
Godwin, yep. Yep.
If it weren't for injury. So sorry, Corey. I had to.
No, you're fine. No, it's absolutely okay. And number 4, Drake London, 17.6 points per game, 2 top 10 weeks, just like T. Higgins. Coming in at number 3, our boy in Detroit, Monroe St. Brown, 18.2 points per game, 2 top 10 weeks, 1 wide receiver 1 finish. Still hasn't helped me to anything more than one win. Number 2, Justin Jefferson, 19.4 points per game, 2 top 10 weeks. And number 1, Jamar Chase.
Oh, yeah.
19.7 points per game,
Yeah.
2 top 10 weeks, and only 1 wide receiver 1 finish.
Every single one of those guys has 2 top 10 weeks.
Yep.
Correct.
Every single one of them. So
Crazy.
last we've got tight ends. Wes, you want it, or do you want me to run through it?
I'll take it.
Perfect. Hey, by the way,
wait,
note on this.
Dallas Goedert, is he good to be on this list?
He is.
Okay.
Technically speaking, yes.
Okay.
Yep. This is based on. I went ahead and changed things a little bit. Most leagues don't do 2 PPR for tight ends like we do. So this list is based on just normal PPR, standard PPR format. So.
Sounds good. All right. Tight end number 5, Dallas Goedert, 10.8 points per game, 2 top 10 weeks, and 1 tight end, 1 finish. We all remember that. That was, week 3 or 4 when he just blew
40.
up.
Yeah, 40 points.
Just jumped up into the tight end discussion.
Yep.
Number 4, Trey McBride, also 10.8 points per game, 2 top 10 weeks. More consistent, not just, one big tight end, 1 finish. Number 3, Cole Kmet, 12.2 points per game, 2 top 10 weeks, 1 tight end, 1 finish. I tell you right now, I would have never thought Cole Kmet would be on this list, but look what Caleb Williams likes him.
Here we are.
Number 2, Brock Bowers. We all knew this was coming. We thought this would be coming. It's surprising with being on the Raiders, but 14.4 points per game, 5 top 10 weeks. Number 1 has been in top 10 6 out of 6 weeks that they've played. They must have had a bye week.
I think he might have been injured one game.
He missed one game.
Yeah,
but all 6 games he played, he was in the top 10. That is George Kittle at 17 points per game with 1 tight end, 1 finish.
It's almost 3 points ahead of second place per game.
Might be one of Kittle's best season yet.
It's kind of skewed. He's had 5 touchdowns this year, dude. He's almost averaging a touchdown a game.
I like it.
That's big money for a tight end, man. That's big money for a tight end. So
yep.
I like George Kittle being at number 1. I like Derrick Henry being at number 1. I like Lamar Jackson being at number 1.
I bet you do. That is.
Can we cut him out of the show?
Power rankings. That is
enough of that
power
nonsense
rankings for the week. Moving, chug-a-lugging right along on down to the bulk of the show. We've got our studs and we've got our duds.
Yes, we do.
I will go right on ahead and start with quarterbacks. My stud on the week, he was QB1. 44 points, 17 of 22 for 281 yards. The guy had 5 touchdowns passing the ball, 52 rushing yards. I didn't want to do it. They don't need to.
You had to, man. He had such a big game.
44 points.
I know.
Somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, you are ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's cruising right now. He might win another MVP this year if he keeps it up.
Not if our boy Goff doesn't do anything about it.
Oh, gosh. I don't want to hear it. He actually, the Lions have scored more touchdowns. I'm sure you've seen this. They've scored more touchdowns than he's got incompletions on the season.
That's insane.
18 touchdowns to his 16 incompletions, which, hey, man, he's been good. He's been good, specifically the last couple weeks. My dud on the week at the quarterback position is actually he scored 12.1 points this week. He was QB 19, 16 of 27, 150 yards, 154 yards, 2 interceptions. It's the too soon to say it GOAT, Patrick Mahomes. He's not having a great year, boys.
He's had an awful fantasy year for what
I'm so glad you put him as
what
a
we're
dud.
usually expecting.
I don't think he's top 15 on the season in quarterback rankings.
I don't think he is.
I'm gonna check the Carfax on that, but I would wager a large amount if I was a betting man.
Check your receipts, Gino.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'll start out with my stud quarterback who came in to replace an injured quarterback who we love this year. Rookie Jaden Daniels went down. Marcus Mariota came in. Marcus Mariota came in 18 for 23, only 5 incompletions, 205 yards, 2 TDs, and 34 rushing yards on 11 carries. That's good for 23.6 fantasy point and QB7 on the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What a week.
Wow.
Have a day, Marcus.
Hey, just noted, Mahomes is QB 22. 22 on the season.
Not great.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, my dud is your boy. Your boy. CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
10 for 21, 86 passing yards. 5 rushes for 19 yards. 5.3 fantasy points. QB 28 on the week.
I would say that I benched the right guy, but Jaden Daniels hurt his ribs early, so they both were bad.
Yeah.
I think I'm fairly certain I picked CJ Stroud as a lock last week too.
Hey Sal, something kind of stinks.
Uh-oh. It's not.
Yeah.
Is it?
Sorry
Oh,
to
man.
interrupt.
Yeah, here we go. What you got for us?
Shannon's poop pile of the week. I had 5 rushing attempts for 20 yards and a 66.67% completion rate, having completed 14 out of 21 passing attempts for a whopping 99 passing yards. It's none other than, you guessed it, Daniel Jones. Oof, that reeks.
Oh, that does reek. And thank you, Leah, for filling in for Shannon this week. Whew.
Leah
Daniel
bringing in
Jones.
the heat.
Goodness
Daniel
gracious.
Jones, awful. So bad.
Somebody was hyping him up recently.
Yeah, dude. 5 rushes, 20 yards, whopping 99 passing yards. Eek.
Listen, man, that was a bad week. It was a bad week.
Thank you Leah, for stepping in for us.
Yes, thank you. That was very, very much appreciated. For sure. I'll take over real quick. I'll get at my my QB stud of the week. We talked about it actually in Trending Hot. Came in after not playing for 6 weeks because of a ankle or hamstring injury or whatever it was. Replaced calf injury, and they replaced Justin Fields.
He was decaffeinated.
Russell Wilson, 16 to 29, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He was decaffeinated.
Okay.
QB3 on the week, 28.86 fantasy points. It's what a day. Have a day. And then my dud, which was Might have. I was actually surprised that this didn't make the poop pile of the week.
What, Matt Stafford?
No,
Oh.
this you guys are gonna like this one. 11 of 16, 93 yards, 2 interceptions.
Anthony Richardson.
QB 35 on the week, 0.02 fantasy points.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I didn't scroll down that
Carolina
far.
Panthers own Andy Dalton.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, that's a car wreck.
0.02.
Sorry.
I read they're gonna
Too
go
soon?
back to
Too
Bryce
soon.
Young this week.
Yeah, they are.
because Dalton got he
Dalton
got a car
in a
wreck. So
accident. But
prayers
that's
up
good.
that
Yeah.
everybody in the family's okay. And I've read that they were, but it does not get you out of the dud for last week. Yeah,
Last
that's
week's game was a car wreck.
good. My
That-
goodness, yeah.
Dude,
I
you
was
totally
actually
missed that. I already said that. Just get out of here.
Gosh, dude.
All right, Sal, take us to the running backs. What you got for
Yeah.
studs?
Can I go to wide receivers
Yeah,
instead?
You
for sure.
may, yeah.
We'll
My
go there.
stud wide receiver on the week had 18.1 fantasy points. He was wide receiver 10. Incredibly unexpected out of nowhere. 8 receptions on 12 targets. 12 for 81 yards. His quarterback got hurt. His wide receiver one got traded away. Cedric Tillman. That is a guy that might be on the trending hot list.
Who does he play
Was
for?
that wide receiver 4 the week? 5?
10.
Browns. Wide receiver 10 on the
Man.
week.
Oh, did he
Wide
used to play
receiver
for the
10.
Bears?
Uh,
Or is that a different Tillman?
I don't know.
That
It
was
might have been a
Char- that
different
was-
Tillman.
that was Charles Tillman, Peanut,
Yep, I'm thinking
the
defensive
DB.
Tillman.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of...
Notorious for punching the football out.
When you get a second, look
Yep.
that up. Look to see if there's a Tillman, if Cedric Tillman
He
played
might
for the
have.
Bears first.
All right,
What you got
yeah,
for a
we can do
dud?
that. So for my dud, this guy 3 points on the week. Wide receiver 77. He had 4 targets, 2 receptions, only 10 yards. This is a guy that we might have collectively suggested was a lock, because when his starting quarterback plays, he usually comes to play. Jaden Reed.
Ooh.
Aiden
He is
Reed.
my dud on the week. 3 points.
Yikes.
Wide receiver 77.
That's got to be his worst week with Jordan Love.
Absolutely,
It
by
has to
a
be.
long
Okay.
shot, by probably 10 or 12 points.
Mm-hmm. Goodness.
Corey, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. My stud wide receiver. We also discussed on Trending Hot. 4 for 4, 121 yards, 22.10 fantasy points. Good enough for wide receiver 3 on the week.
Oh,
Rashad Bateman
Yep.
trending
yeah.
up,
Yeah, yep.
trending up.
Huge.
Huge.
He only had 4
production.
targets and 4 receptions.
Yep,
Yeah, that's it. Just 4.
Nice.
121 yards in a tutty. And then my dud, because I'm trying to not pick too many of my guys because we changed the rules for me only.
Finally.
Malik Neighbors, 4 of 8, 41 yards, wide receiver 42 on the week, 8.1 fantasy points.
You expected more out of him.
You expected way more out of him.
To
Well,
be
and
fair,
Danny.
Wesley and I don't pick our own guys very often.
And I do have an honorable mention, if I
Let's
may.
hear it.
Before
Only
Wesley,
as long as it's not my guys.
Oh, then I'll let you go, and then if it's not, then I'll
Yeah, you can
chime
throw
in.
your
I'll let you go. Yeah.
Cedric
right.
Tillman is wide receiver, sophomore wide receiver, only played for Cleveland.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of somebody else then. Stud. We kind of mentioned somebody was throwing to him. George Pickens.
Oh,
5
man.
receptions. He had a lot. He had 9 targets, but he had 5 receptions, 111 yards. There were some tough receptions too.
Oh, yeah.
1 touchdown. Wide receiver number 2 on the week. 22.1 fantasy points. George Pickens likes some Russell Wilson.
About time he showed up. Holy.
And somebody else that also had 9 targets and only 3 receptions. Wide receiver 52 on the week. 6 points. Your boy, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
3 receptions for 30 yards.
Shame. What a shame to leave your team for, all that you left it for. And
I don't know if you guys saw this, but did you see the very first pass of the game to him? He dropped.
he dropped it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was not my honorable
Okay,
mention.
good, go for it.
And I'm glad. We did not see these before. At least I didn't see theirs. Last week, this receiver went 7 of 9 for 57 yards and a touchdown with wide receiver 16 on the week. This week, 0 for 4, 0 points. Good enough for wide receiver, null.
Yeah.
Did not qualify for anything. Tank Dell.
Oh, I thought
Tank
this
Dell.
when you talked earlier about your guy that was sending you to the waiver wire. I thought this was who you're talking about, Tank Dell.
Oh,
Just
Nope.
stinking it up.
Crazy
yes.
what's happened to him this year, man. A lot of people were riding his coattails from last season, really expecting the sun and the stars out of him, and they have not gotten much.
Not gotten anything.
much. They've not gotten a moon rock
He's
out
still
of that
gonna
guy.
have his games though.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, especially with Nico being down, but hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's move into running backs. My stud on the week. It's a guy that we've ragged on all season long. 29.1 fantasy
who
points
this
on
is.
the week. RB2. He only had 10 carries for 40 yards, which is 4 yards per carry, which is decent. But he
But
had 6 receptions on 6 targets for 71. And that's right, 2 touchdowns. It's your boy Rashad White.
Rashad White.
Finally.
Yeah.
It's about time he showed up. Who is he?
He's gonna need to. He's gonna need to show up.
He is my stud on the week at the running back position. And my dud came in with 4.5 points at RB44. He had 7 carries for 18 yards, 3 targets, 2 receptions for 7 yards. He was hot last week. He was not this week. It is Ramondre
Oh
Stevenson.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Good.
jump in here. This
Yeah, go ahead.
my stud, number 1 running back on the week. Our boy, Sonic, Jahmyr Gibbs. 15 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then 4 receptions for 44 through the air. 32 fantasy points. And
Heck of a week.
yeah,
32, yeah.
yeah. I did something a little different this week with my dud for running back. I went with the Bengals running backs. Zach Moss and Chase Brown.
Both of 'em.
21
Both of 'em.
carries combined, 51 yards combined, 5 receptions for 42 yards. They were running backs 37 and 38, actually, totaling 14.3 points together. They
Goodness.
both had about 7 point something.
Brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Oof.
Man. My running back stud, we discussed this briefly before the rest of the weekend games. Running back 6 on the week, 14 carries, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 catches on 3 receptions on 3 targets, 23 yards, 26.1 fantasy points. Javonte Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Finally
That's
showed up.
About time.
About time and that they get things going on the ground there. And my dud, 7 carries, 10 yards. His week was saved purely on his receptions, 6 of 7 for 14 yards. Good enough for RB32 on the week, 8.4 fantasy points. Alvin Kamara.
yeah. Sorry, guys. I locked him.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll happen.
Yep. It
sorry.
will happen.
Can't be perfect. Can't be perfect,
No.
man.
Nope.
What we got left here? Tight ends?
Tight ends.
Somebody else want to start the tight ends, or you want me to?
I'll start. My stud on the week, 7 targets, 7 receptions, 96 yards, good for tight end 2 on the week with a touchdown, by the way. In our league, 29.6 points. Tight end Jonnu Smith showing out for the Dolphins.
Wow.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Not us.
Not me either.
And tight ends were tough because they're either really good or average or just didn't have very many targets.
They're all over the place.
Yeah,
This year especially has
yeah.
been crazy.
So this week for my dud, just because their team was kind of a dud and they lost to an NFC North team, Dalton Schultz, 1 of 2, 28 yards, 4.8 points, tight end 36 on the week.
Yeah, we're in agreement on that.
Yeah.
We're in
Dalton.
agreement on that one.
Yep.
You want to go ahead, Corey?
Yeah, I'll take it. My stud tight end of the week, finally. But it was only on 4 targets, 4 catches, 41 yards, saved by 2 touchdowns, tight end 3 on the week. Mark Andrews.
Ooh.
Mark Andrews.
He made the team beat me in one of my redraft leagues. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then, conversely, my dud of the week, another perennial top 1, 2, or 3 tight end, 4 of 5, 17 yards, tight end 29, 9 fantasy points. Travis Kelce.
4 receptions.
4
For
receptions on
14
5
yards?
targets, 17 yards.
17, sorry.
Not good.
Math that up for me real quick.
I don't want to. I don't want
4
to.
yards a catch.
He couldn't even get T Swift's 22.
Nope.
He wasn't
Oh,
feeling it.
gosh. Come on. With that, I'm just going to go ahead and roll on into my stud. 18 points. He was tight end 4 on the week. 8 receptions. I lied to you. Yeah, 8 receptions. 10 targets. 100 yards. Got any ideas who it is, gentlemen?
It's not Njoku because he did awesome. Nobody mentioned him.
Kate Otten.
Okay,
My dud on the week was also Dalton Schultz. I'm sorry I missed that.
That's okay.
Like he said, 3.8 points that was 3.8 points in your normal PPR leagues. Tight end 36, 2 targets, 1 reception, 28 yards. So that is our studs and duds on the week.
That is correct.
That is correct.
Last phase of the first part of the show, we've got Thursday Night Football. Who's ready for some football, boys?
Ready for some football?
I'm ready.
SpongeBob's
There
ready.
it is. Yeah, you know that's right.
He's ready.
Well, we have got the Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Rams. Rumor has it that the Vikings are supposedly wanting to trade for Matt Stafford. That's apparently been debunked. Not going to happen. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Not happening. Anybody want to take a stab at this first?
Yes.
Please
Sounds like he's ready to go.
Minnesota is bouncing back. Wallops Matt Stafford and the Rams. Although Cooper Kupp is back, Cooper Kupp is my lock. He just wants, when he's in the game, Stafford's in the game, he's getting close to 20 targets. He's going to get plenty of fantasy points as long as he is healthy, like he should be. I think he could have played last week, but I think they gave him an extra week. And this might be his last game as a Ram. Look out. It might be.
Could be.
Okay.
They're shopping him. They want a second for him, so we'll see. But I got Minnesota winning. Especially with Matt Stafford putting a whole 4 fantasy points out on the board.
Yeah, I do think Minnesota will bounce back and win this game. And if he plays, because it's listed as questionable right now, Puka Nacua is supposed to be making his return this week too. But in lieu of him not playing, Cooper Kupp would have been my lock as well. So Vikings win, Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua. If Nacua plays, I think he's going to be a lock, but obviously if he doesn't, yeah, so.
I have the Vikings winning this one in what I expect to be a close-ish game. The spread on this one is actually Minnesota by just a field goal.
Wow.
Came as a surprise to me when I saw that.
Didn't expect that.
I think that's for good reason, though.
I think
the Vikings
it's the Cup.
Yeah, I
Kyron.
think the Vikings are a dang good football team. As much as I hate to say that, it's true. I expect whatever Vikings starting running back it is, whether it be Aaron Jones or Cam Akers or Ty Chandler, you're going to have to monitor injury status. But their starting running back this week is my lock. I expect it will be Aaron Jones, but he's been dealing with some stuff. So monitor that situation, see who their starting running back is going to be. Start whoever that is. That's my lock for the week.
Okay.
That's our Thursday Night Football picks and locks. that is it for the first segment of the show this evening.
Let's go.
So, let's move right on in to our league picks. Wes, why don't you lead us in this tonight?
Lead?
Yeah, man.
What we got for the first game? What do you guys
Start it
got?
off.
Obviously, the first game for me is I'm gonna go to the bottom.
Yours.
Actually, I'm gonna go to the bottom. Let's go.
All right.
Darian the Prophet 75 versus Lagendijk, or as I thought was legendary, spelled messed up, but that's not the case. I got
They were all difficult, man.
They were not easy matchups this week.
This week was not it. Mine was, but the rest of them weren't.
Look at I got Lagendijk winning this one. He's 4-3 on season right now. I don't have the average points up on the screen, or I didn't write that down.
132 for Lagendijk, 121 for Darian.
Yeah, so I'm looking for Javonte Williams to have another big game playing against Carolina.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think your boy Chuba is gonna fare that well against Denver's defense. So
We're going to find out.
And it's at Denver too.
yeah, I
My
got
high, baby.
Lagendijk.
I'll go ahead and jump in next. I looked at this matchup and then I looked over it again. This is going to be a recurring theme for me this week with a lot of these matchups. I don't love what Darian is doing right now, starting Chase Brown over Caleb Williams. I'm sure he's going to change that. It's only going to change his projected score about 8 or 9 points, though. I've got Lagendijk winning this game, and what I want you guys to pay attention to is that running back matchup. You're looking at James Cook and Chuba Hubbard. James Cook started off pretty hot, and then he had a bad week, and then he had a pretty decent week at Houston, and then he didn't play against the Jets, and then he had a bad week against Tennessee. Seattle's no joke, that defense, so I think it's going to be a tough week for him. I am taking Lagendijk based on running back production.
I too am taking Lagendijk, but mine was on tight end play with Brock Bowers and Dalton Kincaid both starting for him, and also Darian still on mine shows that he's got Brandon Ayuk in there in his lineup as well, so he's going to have to figure out who to fill in that spot. Likely Olave, I would assume, but what the Saints have been doing lately, not really impressive. So
Not really marching in.
yeah. So thank you. Definitely missed an opportunity on that one, but you picked me up, man. I appreciate it.
Guys, I told you I'm
But,
tired. They're all coming
Yeah,
out.
but I got Lagendijk on this one. Yeah.
So if you slide in Olave and
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams on this game, that makes it about a 2-point spread.
Mhm.
That's what made this one so tough, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
So, all right, who's up next, Wes?
Next up, we have your boy, Corey Lamberts, against like a DOS. Like a good name.
I will go last on this one.
I will say that Corey is averaging 133 points a game, while Doss is averaging 120.
Go ahead, Sal.
got-
Lead this one off.
I'm taking Corey. Corey's only got 2 wins this year, but I've been saying it 1 win this year. I've been saying it over and over and over again. Corey's team is good. It's not bad at all. I mean, he's averaging 133 points a game. I believe we just mentioned, who was it that we just mentioned? Lagendijk is 4-3. He's averaging 131 points a game this year. He's got 4 wins, and he's averaging 2 less points a game than Corey, who's got 1 win. He's just been waiting for his moment. He's got Kenneth Walker, who's number 2 running back in the league. Najee Harris has been doing well. Bo Nix and Kirk Cousins, he's starting. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brian Thomas, who's the rookie, other than Malik Neighbors, who just so happens to also be on Corey's roster at wide receiver. You look at the other side, Doss is starting Zamir White and Rashad White and Cortland Sutton and Tutu Atwell and Rico Dowdle.
Oof.
I don't see that.
Tutu
faring
Atwell,
well.
why is he even in there with?
So actually, Tutu Atwell had 9 targets last week and 10 the week before
I
that. He
understand
scored
that,
at
but he's
least
not
10
getting
points
those
in 4
targets.
consecutive games. That's true. Probably not going to happen this week. But with all that being said, I'm taking Corey. Don't disappoint me this week, Corey. Please.
I'm sorry, man. I can't.
I definitely
My
think you should
lineup
put
is staying
Dallas
exactly how
Goedert
it
in
is
for
right
Tutu
here.
Atwell. Hopefully he does, if he plays.
Maybe play Jonathan Taylor over Zamir
And
White.
Jonathan Taylor, yeah,
Is he healthy this week?
Supposed to be.
still questionable.
Yeah, so is Dallas Goedert. So who knows? But I also have Corey this week. You just look at you got Bo Nix against Carolina. Bo Nix has looked decent. He's been progressing each week.
Yeah.
This is the week that you want to see him. This is the week where it's gonna look like he's at practice and just doing his thing.
Actually, the best quarterback on my roster right now, too.
Kenneth Walker. It's Buffalo's defense, but Kenneth Walker looks good against anybody's defense. Look what he did to the Lions. Najee Harris against the New York Giants. Like everything you said is accurate. I like all these guys, especially if they're healthy and playing. Ingram, Garrett Wilson, Lake Neighbors, Monroe St. Brown, Brian Thomas. I like it. I like who you got in the game right now. Yeah, it's probably smart to stick Nick Chubb.
Yep.
So yeah,
I think that Corey's team is a sneaky team to creep on up into the playoffs and knock you off of your high horse week 1, Wesley. In the playoffs. Actually, probably be week 2 because you're going to have a bye week 1. But
listen, that's not
look
happening.
out.
I've
He's
made
a
my
shark in
living
the
doing
water.
that.
He's a shark in the water. You're just a guppy.
Yep. Just. Do we really need to? I'm picking me. Verbatim what both my counterparts here just said. So.
All right. Next
Yep.
game.
Another football question. We got Corpy against Richard. You want to throw out their averages there, bud?
Yeah, I got you. Corpy's actually averaging 137 on the season. Richard is at 133. Corpy is 2-5. Richard is 3-4, and Corpy is actually averaging 4 more points per game.
And with a higher percentage of start-sit accuracy too.
Yeah, he's at
almost
about
10%.
88. Yeah, he's at about 88, and Richard's at about 79% on the start-sit accuracy.
Guys, Corey, you lead this one off because this one's tough.
I will. I'm this one was hard for me to pick. This was I actually had this on mine, and I came back to it twice to finish doing everybody else's first. This is a tough matchup. I mean, Purdy versus Hurts, Jones versus Dobbins, Mixon versus Barkley. You know, all those guys are scoring a lot of points. AJ Brown, he's just acquired DJ Moore from you.
Man.
Njoku now with Jameis Winston under center. That might be fun to watch.
Look at these 4 running backs real quick. Look at this running back matchup. Dobbins,
it's crazy, right?
Barkley, Jones, Mixon. All against defenses that they can just walk
absolutely shred, right?
Oof.
And I think I do have Bills fan. I do have Richard winning this one. But watch out for Purdy against Dallas. Could be a make or break for Corpy's week. But I do have.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Brock Purdy is sneakily QB8 on the season on 2 games. He scored 30 points. The rest of the season, he's been mediocre. So
mediocre, yeah. So Cowboys coming off the bye. I think the last 3 years coming off the bye, they've started with a win. And changed everything, but I don't think that changes this year. I don't think that continues this year.
Oh, what's happening?
Mike Zimmer's defense is a joke. The NFL has passed his defensive style by, and he hasn't figured out a way to keep up.
All right, I'll go second. You want to go last on this, Wes?
Yep.
This was an easy pick for me. I understand where you're coming from with why it was a struggle, but you look at the matchups, and every single one of these matchups is a softball for Richard's team. Jalen Hurts at Cincinnati, softball. Aaron Jones against the Rams, softball. Mixon against Indianapolis, AJ Brown against Cincinnati, DJ Moore against Washington, and Njoku against Baltimore. Like, Noah Fant against Buffalo is the only game that I'm not loving, but actually Noah Fant
Joku
has
against
been.
Baltimore is the softball.
Dude, Baltimore is allowing more tight end points than like 90% of the NFL right now, and Njoku is a stud when he has a real quarterback.
It all depends on Jameis Winston's pregame speech.
14 targets this last week, man.
Yeah,
14 of them.
He was number one tight end, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. There is.
And even if Richard subs out several players, he still has George Pickens and Dak Prescott on the bench.
Marvin Harrison on the bench.
Marvin Harrison on the bench. I mean, what? Corpy's starting his best lineup, and it's not close.
I'm done. Yeah.
Sorry.
Corpy's winning.
Okay. I like it.
I have a feeling that there's too many people on his roster that have I got to make up for last week's blunder.
That's true.
One of them being
Adams.
Devonta Adams. I don't know what's going on in the Lions with Jameson Williams, whether he is going to start the suspension or not. If he does, I see Sam Laporta getting more action finally. Oh man, it's gonna be a good. I think it's gonna be a nice high scoring game. I think they're gonna have one of the combined highest scoring games points together.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna take Corpy.
Cool. What game's next, man?
Next up,
got 2 left.
we have T. Quinn, Trevor, against you, Sal. Gives it to me.
Carried by quarterbacks, baby.
Yes.
Who's going first?
I'll start.
Go first.
I'll start. I
I'll
haven't
second.
started. This one, I wrote close game. I don't know why I wrote close game. I don't think I have Sal winning. Sal winning this one. He's averaging roughly 6 more points per game on average, but I know we just said the Vikings were going to beat the Rams. I don't know that Darnold continues doing what he does. Jordan Love's going to have a hell of a week like he usually does. But I do think whatever Sal decides on that quarterback, if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, he has to put Stroud in there.
Yeah.
Unless he decides to go with one of his many bench options.
I'm going to be honest
yeah.
with you. I'm going to fix it right now. I intended to have CJ Stroud in there already.
Okay.
That's my bad for not updating that.
But I think the biggest difference maker here is going to be DeAndre Swift against Washington.
Been a lot of matchup so far.
So, yep.
You know, so I'm looking at this live right now, and I first started going down it, looking at matchup to matchup: Darnold, Love, Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, Jordan Mason, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jefferson, Diggs. I was like, oh, looks pretty even. And then the more you scroll, the more you're like, oh, Jordan Cup. And then once I got to the tight end position, Pitts, Ertz, Swift, Jaden Reed, Higgins, Henry, Stroud, Mayfield. This has potential to be a close game, especially depending on these wide receivers, Diggs and Cup versus Jefferson and London. I just see those bottom three, Ertz, Reed, and Henry, not having a great game. And I see Higgins, Swift, and Pitts outplaying those three. So I'm also going to go Sal.
That means I'm up. I had this being my closest game on the week. I think this will probably be a very high-scoring matchup. I'm the odd man out, though. I don't think I'm going to win this matchup. I'm just looking at it. We're averaging pretty close to the same amount of points. I actually like a lot of the matchups that he's got. Believe it or not, Zach Ertz has scored 14.8 and then 18 in the last 2 weeks. He's got 4 finishes this year as a top 11 tight end. I kind of like the way that he's looking. Jaden Reed getting an opportunity to play at Jacksonville. I think he's going to smack them. Coming off a bad week. I'd love to take myself to win, but I think Quinn's going to have a good week on me. I'm taking Quinn to win this one.
Well,
last matchup.
Myself, away, versus Shannon, the Sheepdogs. What's the average there, bud?
170 to 135.
Go ahead, fellas.
And
fellas.
I am taking Shannon.
I like it. You've been betting against me all year. I love it. Keep it going.
No, there's twice, maybe 3 times. Somebody's eventually going to knock you off,
That is,
right?
I agree.
Somebody's going to have to do it eventually. I just look at what we've got here. Bijan at Tampa Bay, I think, is going to be a big game. Joe Burrow against Philadelphia, I think that's going to be a shootout. You look at, obviously, CeeDee Lamb, he's going to eat against anybody. Jordan Addison at the Rams, I think, has potential to be a big game. Khalil Shakir, Romeo Dobbs, all these guys have potential to score a lot. The real questions for me lie with David Montgomery and his health against Tennessee. They've got a good defense. I'm a little nervous for you with that. Does Tyreek Hill show up this week or not? Because it's been a while since he has. And I don't think that Kittle is going to score a touchdown against Dallas. I think Dallas is going to play good football against San Francisco this week. So I'm taking Shannon. I think it'll be close, but I'm taking Shannon.
You're trying to get me to sub in Tucker Kraft.
I'm not.
If you did, it'd probably be the time where Kittle doesn't score, and Kraft has like 50.
Yeah, no.
Throws up a 50 burger on you. Or for you, sorry, not on you. I have Wesley, and it's the return of Tyreek Hill because Tua's going to play.
And he's not going to wear a Guardian cap, by the way.
Not wearing a Guardian cap.
He said that. Not wearing a Guardian cap.
Personal preference. He's crazy, but
crazy
like a
personal
fox, man.
choice.
I don't want to say the guy's a clown, but I don't know, man.
Cuckoo, man. He's going to chuck that ball all over the place.
He about died on the field a couple times
against
now,
Arizona.
Yep.
Tucker Kraft is going to outscore George Kittle this week, by the way.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
Nope.
Sub him in.
I'm gonna stick it with it.
All right.
You guys both. You said not me.
Feel better.
You said me.
Yeah, I think you'd feel better once you get one loss. It's like not everybody's gunning for you all the time now.
The monkey's off your back then, dude.
Yeah.
Got a line
going
on my back.
undefeated gets you nothing, man.
Got a line on my back. That's fine. It just would be cool to do it. First year. I mean, I don't. Like I said.
Hey man, I'm happy for you.
Week to week, it's been matchup basis. I haven't been number one each week. I haven't been the top scorer each week. So there's going to be a time where I'm like 3 or 2 and I'm playing 1 or 2 and I get knocked off. But it hasn't happened yet. And it's not going to happen this week. I hope. Yeah, I got myself. Montgomery just had a little knee in the back of his knee. He just had a little contusion. He'll be fine. Derrick Henry going against Cleveland. Yeah, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson going against Cleveland. That could be tough. They might not have their edge rushers by the end of this week. Who knows? Tyreek Hill's going to have a huge game. Tyreek Hill is going to have a big game. He's getting his quarterback back. Kareem Hunt against Las Vegas. Really? Kamara might get subbed out. He's potential to get subbed out in case he does not go. I got options there. Metcalf is also questionable, but they got Deontay Johnson, Darnell Mooney, Wan'Dale Robinson, Tucker Kraft. So not worried about it. I still think it will be good. Shannon has looked good generally. He's got to be up there in average.
It's only 135.
Yeah, but like, where's
since he made the trade though? He scored 170, and then he had a good week last week, but he lost Godwin. So
he lost Godwin. Yeah.
So, all right, boys.
Since he made the trade, he only had 137 last week, so.
What is the standings right now? What are we looking like?
You are in first. I believe I am in second.
Right. Since his first game playing with the trade, he went up to 170 something.
Yep. Third place is Shannon.
Yep.
Fourth is Lagendijk. Fifth is Quinn. Sixth is Richard. That is the playoff cutoff right now. He has scored 90 more points than seventh place, which is Doss. Eighth is Corpy. Ninth is Darian, and then dead last.
That's crazy.
Sixth in points, though, I think.
You're at 931. You and I, Sal, are the only ones that's breaking 1,000 points for so far. I mean, I had it broken last week, but that's okay.
Trevor.
Oh, I did not see
I'm
Trevor
sorry.
down there. You're right.
Seventh in points by 0.14.
Corpy, by the way, is 2-5, and he has scored the fourth most points.
I know.
Yep.
That's
Luck
why
of the draw,
he's going to win this week.
We gonna see. I believe that's all we got for tonight, gentlemen. Anything else we want to add?
I'm good, man.
No, I'm ready to, what they say, hit the hay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'm tired. I didn't get enough sleep,
Yep.
so.
Good show, boys. Again,
Yes,
Corey,
sir.
welcome back to Michigan.
Thanks, man.
We all got to get together sooner than later. Well, maybe we'll wait till it gets warm out again. But
Yeah.
start
We can go
plowing the road
hunting.
soon. Oh, maybe that sounds good.
We'll go hunting with a pistol. I don't know how well that'll work, but it's fine.
Any other things to add?
That's it. I'm good.
Yes, sir.
All right, boys. Good night. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed our content and look forward to more, please drop a like and subscribe to the When Pigs Can Fly Fantasy Football Show.